Welcome to the Big Screen Symposium podcast. The Big Screen Symposium was held in Auckland at the Victory Events Centre on the 5th and 6th of April 2024. Celebrating New Zealand talent, the keynote address included 7 New Zealand actors with unique stories and outlooks. In this podcast, Lucy Lawless shares her thoughts on our 2024 theme, Stepping into the Unknown. This session was presented by Te Mangai Paho.
I remember when I was 9 years old, the moment I realized I was going to die. And I remember the gate I was in front of on Allendale Road in Mount Albert, walking home when I realized I was going to die. And it put me in this huge hurry. I was like, who do you want to be? So I want to be a happy, mobile old lady. If I can be that, hoping I can, get to being an old lady, but happy and mobile, that would rock, right? And I knew from a young age also that I wanted to be an actor. So acting was one of the scariest things I could do. And I thought, if I want to be happy, what do I need to do? I need to know I didn't chicken out, right? And acting was really scary. I did a travel show and they made me jump out of planes and throw myself off cliffs and all this stuff. And it was like, well, that was intellectually quite interesting, but there's zero reward. None of that is fun to me. But acting was really terrifying. So I did that and I did it and I did it and I kept on doing it. And 38 years later, I'm going through the motions of acting, right? Because I like it. It's fun. I like the people I work with. I'm making something that I believe is good for the world in some way. Not all my projects have been like that, but anyway, I open my email one morning and it's a cold call, an email from some guy in Spain who says, my name's Joe Duran, and do you want to make a film about your compatriot, CNN camerawoman Margaret Moth? And my mind Rolodexed back to 1992 when there was this huge kerfuffle on fledgling news agency, CNN, because a New Zealand camerawoman, Margaret Moth, had had her face blown off in Sarajevo during the Bosnian War by a sniper. And I was seized by this panic that this is a mistake that they've sent it to me. They probably sent it, it's a form letter, it's probably been sent out to like 100 other people. I can't let anybody else get this project. I simply must do it. So I wrote back, I swear to God, within 90 seconds, I was being puppeted by something outside myself. And I was saying, yes, I will find the money and I will find the producers and this film must be made. And I pushed send. And then a 10-ton block of shame and self-recrimination dropped on me. And I was like, oh my God, Lucy, who are you? Who are you to say that you can do this and find the money? You've never done this before. What are you talking about? I was like, it wasn't my fault. It was like, Margaret made me do it. Well, anyway, I'm like beyond neck deep in this commitment very quickly. And I didn't even have a thought about directing it. I was just like, I'm going to produce it. I'm going to, find the people. I'll put together the team. The story has to be told, and it's using me to tell it. Well, I did somehow miraculously found the team. I went to Matt Metcalf at GFC, who I'd known. We were kids starting out together. I said, Matt, let's try to make this. And he was like, yeah, I reckon we can, got something there. You got something there. And the New Zealand Film Commission, we went to them, did a pitch document and everything, and we got turned down. So we went away and sharpened our pencils and thought about it and bought in some extra, found some extra money, let's just say that. Found some extra money and seed money, basically, and rewrote the whole thing, pitched it again, and God bless them, NZFC came on board. XYZ came on board, Prodigy came on board. I think it looked like it was an understandable package, an easy thing to sell, right? Lucy Lawless, Margaret Moth, Warrior Princess X. I played one on TV. Here's a real one. Somehow it seemed like it was a kind of a right time, right place, right combination of factors. I don't know how it happened, but it was the most exciting, the most terrifying, the most painful, and the most rewarding thing I've ever done. And it didn't just change my life, in that now I want to be doing that all the time, but it's changed me. And it is all this thing about the unknown. I was thinking, what is this creative thing we're doing? I met a bunch of scientists and entrepreneurs, and they're such exciting people because they're not constrained by the known world. And that's us too, right? The creative spark is divine. It's the God spark, it's the God gene, whatever makes us rise above the animals, right? Is this ability to imagine and go beyond the known world and not just react to something, but make it happen out of sheer guts and passion and heart and human connection and sharing of talents. So now I know when I get that little feeling that I don't know how to describe it. Perhaps you recognize it in yourselves. When you hear an idea or you find somebody who's incredibly talented, it gives me this little frizz on, it turns me into I feel like a sparrow in the dirt. Like I want to just get down in the dirt. And I know that I have the commitment to that idea that I will forsake almost everything else in my life to see that project through all the pain, the drama, the heart, whatever challenges come. You know that story is so big, it's using you to tell itself. So I think this is part of my formula for being a happy old lady, is to not chicken out. And when the angel comes knocking, get that God spark, to recognize that feeling and don't just open the door, you blast yourself through and back yourself. When I was 15, I was home feeling sorry for myself, not knowing how I was going to ever get to be an actor. There weren't that many New Zealand actors. How am I ever going to be world famous? It's not going to happen. Anyway, so I'm watching the Oscars, and Whoopi Goldberg was presenting that year, maybe emceeing, I can't remember. She was up there and she spoke to me, and I'll pass it on to you, but she said, "Kid, if you're out there and one day you want to be up here, you better believe it." And in that moment, I doubled down on my dreams, and here we are. So I wish, and the other thing is, be kind to people and fill that balloon up with love, because really that's all we got, and that's what drives us on. Thank you so much.
The Big Screen Symposium 2024 was presented by Script to Screen. We gratefully thank our event partners, the New Zealand Film Commission, Images and Sound, New Zealand On Air, and Te Mangai Paho. Voiceover is by Jamie Irvine and the music is by Poddington Bear. You can read more about these speakers at our website, www.bigscreensymposium.com. This podcast is brought to you thanks to generous support from Images and Sound.